Hey everybody, Sandy here at Game Montoli, and we are back for round one of a Vintage League playing 5-color shops. Today I'm taking out a new card from Dominaria called Karn Silex for a spin. I put a couple on the main deck for science to see how we do with it. How does this hand look? I think this hand's fine. My opponent's typically a combo player. We're unfortunately on the draw, so the hand itself is not fantastic, but this can maybe prevent a tinker. We do like a workshop, and no, what we would do is cast a Mox, play the workshop, play the sphere, and then we'll play Grafdigger's Cage. That's what we'll do, and then we'll follow up with a strip mine the following turn and be reliable off the top of our deck to pull to some shenanigans here. But of course, this hand does not look great. I think it'd be a lot better if we were on the play. Karn Silex is a polarizing card. I've seen a number of people play it, and the Pernicious Deed feature certainly could be valuable, but one of the things I find the neatest about it is that people cannot pay life. So it shuts off fetch lands, it shuts off force of will, is my understanding. And these are definitely powerful features of the card. Like I lost to it the other day because I couldn't use my fetch lands, and like it was just a surefire win for me. Had I been able to use my fetch lands, but the Karn Silex shut me off. So I'm going to try it today. I'm not convinced it should be a staple in workshops, but um, it's early yet, and finding the right shelf for it could be important. You know, having a Pernicious Deed in your deck that blows up a lot of your own stuff is not ideal, but certainly in the right spot, it could be very, very good, particularly if you premeditate it. Like I suspect the best spot for it is probably something like Golo Shops. And this is Golo Shops that we're playing. It's just we've got a color splash to it. Appears my opponent is double queuing here, so I do apologize for the delay. But that is weekend magic for you. Everybody seems to want to be playing two to three things at once. Okay. It's obviously somewhat distressing that my opponent has an Urza Saga here, but I think we're just going to go about our business. As I discussed earlier, I think that is my game plan. I guess what I could do is, technically, I could play Ancient Tomb. No, I think I'm going to give them the Saga token here. Because what I can do next turn is if this sphere resolves, I can play the Crucible next turn, and we can threaten to strip lock them. And yes, they're going to have a Saga token, but we are going to be able to get our own eventually. I don't know about this main deck Cage. It's something that I've been toying with in my 5-color shops deck. When you're running Urza Saga, like it's pretty good. Like there's a lot of Bazaars decks running around, and Cage is solid against most of those decks, particularly Dredge. And it does stop Tinker from working. So my opponent's main win condition technically is Tinker. So we'll see what happens here. They're just on the Saga train. So if they have a force here, it's not ideal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my Crucible. I'm going to see if it resolves, because if it doesn't resolve, they have to top a mana, which will keep them off a Saga token, which they're doing. Which was smart. but now we get to take their Saga. This will let them untap, and they will get something off of it. I guess the probably better to take this one. I'll give them the other one. Now next turn we can play a Saga. That's probably the line I'm going to take. We do have the option of bringing back Gigantha, but I don't think that serves us right at the moment. I think getting our Saga going is probably the best line. Okay, Sensei's top. So that could have been worse. We have a whole bunch of good draws. I played a league yesterday. I wish I had recorded it, but I was doing it in between the Vintage Challenge, in between rounds, and I played Ravager Shops, and oh, it felt really good to play Ravagers again. I ended up getting a 4-1 with it, and oh, whoa. Okay, I guess we're playing against Jewel Shops. That's what this feels like. Well, that was not a good draw. Okay, so it looks like we're going to get a Jewel coming down here. It's going to be pretty good for my opponent. Yep, not happy about this, but this is where we're at. Hopefully my sphere does some damage here. Yep. Pretty good, guys. I'm hoping that, next turn, obviously, they're able to go off. They've got an awful lot of mana to work with. But I'm really hoping my sphere is just enough to gum them up that they can only go so far. I think playing the Ancient Tomb's fine here. This past turn, I mean, this is what we're on. Well, let's just hope they don't have anything here. Okay. Am I going to die to a Vault Key here? What they could do, also, if they're desperate, is they can force me to use my Saga with a Pithing Needle or something of that nature, and they can copy it with a Metamorph to be able to prevent me from taking the jewels. There's just another jewel, it looks like here. Oh, it's a PO. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. But as I mentioned, like, the hope is that my sphere is going to gum them up here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it doesn't look like they're going to recast the Coveted Jewel here. I mean, they can PO again as well, should they choose to do so. I don't feel like we're going to get out of this one here, but I misinterpreted what deck my opponent was on. They're just doing another PO here. Is that what it is? Yep, looks like it. It's pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, Mana Crypt was a nice one there. Soul Ring. Yep. I don't want to concede here. I really, like the game is not over yet. Despite, I think it's improbable that I win. My sphere is doing quite a bit of work here. So this is a situation where I wouldn't mind having a Karn Silex in play. Yep. Sensei's top. Mhm. There it is. Okay, that should be their turn. And we are going to make our Saga token. What would I like here? Another sphere would be good. Mm, I'm just not sure what can get me out of this. Okay, that's pretty freaking good. I won't lie to you, I was not expecting that to be a player, right? So now I make another Saga token. I go and get, yeah. Wow, guys. What an improbable chance to win here. So now we can go and get, because I have a land to give here, and I go and get a Sapphire probably is the correct line. I could use Lotus, but I have to burn it. So yeah, we're good here. We have one sphere. So I think a Sapphire does it. Five color shops, folks. Well, yes, it does kill them. So I would say this is a pretty tough match for us because we don't really have a quality creature base to be able to pressure the coveted jewel. So I guess the plan is to not allow them to get a coveted jewel. That's a lot harder on the draw, though. Very nice win for us there. That felt highly improbable. I don't think anything could have got us out of that, with the exception probably of the time walk there. We'd had to be hopeful that my opponent was not able to kill us the following turn, which was not really that likely. Now we certainly want these. Null Rod seems incredibly powerful against them, and I also could see a world where we want a couple Pyroblasts, but let's see. I don't think this is going to be how we win. Karn, very good. Lodestone Golem, not very good, but it's a creature. All right, what else can we do here? Balance does not seem great. I could see this being good. Shuts off their Force of Wills as well. Don't think Tabernacle's where I need to be. I need to cut two cards here. I think Grafdigger's Cage and probably Pithing Needle are both very poor in general. Let's try this out. I will reveal my Gigantha. This hand is not great, but Sphere might make it functional. For a Monolith, likely. Yep. Do they have a PO here? Yep. Oh, key. Okay. Come on, Null Rod. Okay. Karn, Null Rod. It's not what I want, really. Once again, just trying to gum them up here a bit. Unfortunately, their guys are going to be a lot bigger than mine, but that's the world we're living in, I think. Hopefully they don't have a jewel. They're just all manas and big saga tokens. Well, if we can find an Null Rod here, guys, we have a chance. Or a Karn, even better. Okay, Golos is pretty good here. I do think I'd get a Golos. Now, I am going to have to deal with these tokens. That's the problem. But I mean, that's just what we're signed up for here. I should be able to get my guys going enough here that I should be able to take over the game. The problem is they can put a pithing needle on my whatever it is I get, but maybe I just go and get a Caracas here. Does that work? They just needle my Caracas, right? Maybe I don't even worry about that right now. Can I go and get I don't want to tip them that I have a Saga, because I don't want them to needle Saga because I lose. I'm going to get a Tellurian Academy here. I don't know if they have Pithing Needle. This is the world I'm living in. And the problem I have here is this Mana Crypt that I've had to use to get myself going. Really has put me in some trouble, and they can just make their guys unblockable. So I don't think I'm going to be able to pull out of this one either way. Unless I find a Revoker. But I could be taking a lot of damage right here. Yeah, I don't think I can win this one. I guess a Biforce? I will just chump block with my Golos here. I think I'm kind of in on the Biforce plan right now. Oh, they have PO here. Okay. I'll concede to a PO. Yep. All right, we're going to have to win this one on the play here. Excuse me. I mean, I like the tools we have here. Our two best cards are Karn and Null Rod, without a doubt. Biforce could be a really big player if we can get to that point in the game. Spheres on the play are definitely going to gum them up. They do run Force of Wills. What a polarizing match this is. Us stealing game one was pivotal, though. Like, putting us on the play here is very important. Okay. This does have the tools here. If we can resolve the sphere and then the crucible, we might be able to take over. Like, it has the tools here. it's a little awkward that these are three casting with this. You know, we're probably going to want to be wastelanding on turn two, which is going to stifle our production. But I mean, it is what it is. You know, if my opponent goes workshop into Grim Monolith, like we have to wasteland. The only other option to that would be is if we drew something like a null rod would be amazing. That would just end the game right there if it resolved. But my opponent to force it would have to tap their Grim Monolith, which is not a huge loss. I mean, there's a number of things that could go wrong on our end. My opponent's deck is obviously extremely explosive, and you know we may need to get into the current Silex here to be able to manage their board, but I'm hoping that I can do it on my terms and for one and get their mocks and keys. All right, let's see how we do. Well, my opponent is now double queuing again. All right, it's in. So let's see how this shakes down here. I have to hope my opponent's got a bit of a fairer start. Okay. This is a Mox for sure, or a Sol Ring it could be, but Mox is most likely. So this is kind of what we want to see from our opponent. A key? Okay, a top. Because now this plays into the Karn Silex line. Now, I am going to wait a turn to do it. Oof. I mean, I think that I'm just penciled into wasting them here. I really want to stifle their growth here as much as I can. So a little bit suboptimal, right? Okay, my opponent's sticking with their top. You can see the time difference on our clocks here, how much my opponent has been away from my keyboard this particular match. Yeah, there's the monolith. Okay. So they can 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can actually cast another Karn or Golos is not ideal here. I think I have to wasteland them here again. I'm not happy about this, but I think that like yes, the Silex is good here, but I think just trying to stifle my opponent's growth here as much as I can. It's just the way our hand is worked out with reference to our top decks. We drew a Golos and a Workshop. And this is not ideal. I was really hoping for a 2-drop somewhere in there that we would be able to punish our opponent, but hopefully we've stifled their growth here a bit. Just a PO. Oh, Karn, okay. That does stop my Silex. Mm-hmm. Come on, null rod on my end, please. Even a Revoker would be good. 3-ball. Does 3-ball even do anything here? I'm going to play Golos. What I'm going to get is another story. Like, Saga is not looking very good right at the moment, right? Maybe I get a Caracas. I'm going to get a Caracas here. You have to remember that I have a strip and a wasteland effect in my graveyard. And what happens here is if my opponent somehow is able to get a Mycosynth Lattice down, me having a Golos could be the difference between me living and dying. And so next turn, if my opponent does play a land here, I mean, I hope they don't find one, but if they do, we can get it with the Crucible. Oh, okay. They can stand up their top to protect their Karn here. Oh, interesting. Okay. They did find a workshop. Hopefully it's not a monolith. Probably is. Yep. All right. Are they going to stand it up? Nope. They're just going in and getting something. What are they going to go get here? They did get the Lattice. Okay. Well, Lattice is not overly impactful here. Hmm. I think I can do both of these things. See if they have a force. It will require them to tap their monolith. Yeah, they do have it. Okay. So they did get to keep their Mishra's Workshop here. Here comes their top. Hopefully we draw land here. Like we're really looking for a strip effect here or a null rod, one or the other. I mean, we have so many great draws off the top of our library. Okay. We're going at Karn here. We can recast this, right? We return it with Caracas. 6, 7. They cannot force. Interesting there, my opponent didn't check what's on top with their Sensei's top. They did have a mana there. What do we want to get now? I feel like we just get a wasteland, right? Yeah, we're getting a wasteland. Okay. My opponent has 3 active mana. Okay, they've conceded from the game. I mean, they had a minute and 50 seconds on their clock. I think it was going to be difficult for them to be able to beat this. Karn was pretty good from them that they were able to stifle my ability to use my Karn Silex, but we didn't need it anyways. I think that was a solid win from us. Highly improbable with reference to our game one win, but we will definitely take those. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like and subscribe button. We'll see you for round two.